God says, I have been trying to warn you for hours. Open your heart now, before the blessing heaven prepared for you passes beyond your reach. Listen carefully, because I have been calling to your heart again and again. And this moment is not random. I have been stirring your spirit, directing your eyes, and leading you here because something precious is standing at the doorway of your life right now. If you ignore this stirring, you may walk away from a blessing heaven has already prepared for you. That is why you must stay and hear every word, because what I am revealing now will protect what I have planned for you and keep your blessing from slipping away. My child, I have been trying to warn you for hours because the enemy has been quietly working to distract you from the very thing I have been placing into your hands. You thought the small interruptions were accidents, but they were not accidents at all. They were gentle signals from heaven, reminders that something important was unfolding around you. I have been knocking on the door of your attention, hoping you would pause long enough to hear my voice clearly. If you feel my presence touching your heart right now, write Amen in the comments as a quiet agreement with heaven. What I am telling you is not meant to frighten you, but to awaken you. There are moments in life when a blessing comes close enough to be received, yet many people miss it because they are looking in the wrong direction. I have watched you struggle, and I have seen the weight you have been carrying. I have also seen the faith you kept alive, even when everything around you looked uncertain. That faith has not gone unnoticed. And it is the reason heaven has been moving on your behalf. For hours, I have been nudging your spirit, guiding your steps, and arranging moments so you would arrive here at the right time. Nothing about this is accidental. When heaven prepares a blessing, it also prepares a moment of awareness, so the person receiving it can understand its value. I want you to recognize this moment because the door standing before you is real. It is a door of opportunity, restoration, and unexpected provision. Many times in your life, you believed the blessing had already passed you by. You thought the chance was gone and the season had already ended. But heaven does not move according to human timing. I am able to open doors long after people believe the story is finished. What you thought was the end was only quiet preparation for something greater. I was arranging behind the scenes. Before we continue, take a second to press the like button on this video, because it helps this moment of encouragement reach someone else who also needs to hear that heaven has not forgotten them. The reason I have been warning you is simple and loving at the same time. When blessings arrive, they often come quietly. They do not always appear with loud announcements or dramatic signs. Sometimes they arrive as a decision, a conversation, a new idea, or a sudden opportunity that seems small at first glance. If your heart is distracted or discouraged, you may overlook the very thing I have been preparing for you. I do not want that to happen to you. I have watched you walk through seasons where doors closed unexpectedly. I have seen moments when people left your life and you wondered why everything had become so difficult. During those moments, it seemed as though heaven was silent. Yet even in those silent seasons, I was still working, arranging people, timing, and circumstances, so the blessing prepared for you would arrive exactly when you were ready to receive it. Right now, heaven is closer to your situation than you realize. I have been positioning things in ways you cannot yet see. The reason you felt a sudden urge to stop and listen is because your spirit recognized the signal that something important was happening. That inner feeling was not imagination. It was my gentle hand guiding your attention. Your life is not overlooked, and your prayers have not been forgotten. The words you whispered in quiet moments have been heard in heaven. Every tear that fell when you felt alone has been noticed. I have been collecting those prayers and preparing answers that are stronger than the problems you faced. This moment is connected to those prayers. I am warning you because blessings require attention. When heaven opens a door, the person receiving it must be awake enough to recognize it. Many people miss their moment because they believe nothing good could possibly happen after so much struggle. They assume that disappointment will always be the final chapter. That belief becomes a wall that hides the blessing standing right in front of them. But you are not forgotten, and your story is not ending in disappointment. I am guiding you to look again, to listen again, and to trust that what is happening right now is connected to a promise that heaven placed over your life long ago. You are closer to a shift than you understand. If this truth touches your heart, write 1,212 inches. The comments as a sign that you trust what heaven is preparing. You have been standing in a season where patience felt heavy. You wondered why progress seemed slow and why certain doors refused to open. What you did not see was the careful work happening behind those closed doors. I was strengthening you, shaping your character, and preparing the exact moment when the blessing would arrive without destroying you or overwhelming you. Blessings that come too early can break a person. That is why I sometimes allow waiting seasons to stretch longer than expected. During those seasons, I build strength inside your heart, so that when the door finally opens, you are ready to carry the responsibility that comes with it. The waiting you experienced was not punishment, it was preparation. Could a hidden CIA discovery explain why so many are suddenly living in luxury? Secret CIA research has now come to light, revealing a brain-hacking ritual that draws in wealth like magic. It only takes 7 seconds. You can do it at home. And it's supported by 4 neuroscience labs. People are ditching debt and living in luxury right now. But this information won't stay online for long. Click the link in the description and comments before it's deleted. Now, the moment has arrived when heaven is trying to get your attention. I have been warning you gently because the opportunity standing near you is real. It may appear in a form that seems ordinary at first, but its impact on your future will be powerful. The reason I brought you here today is so that your heart would become alert and your spirit would recognize the blessing when it appears. Do not allow fear or doubt to silence the hope rising inside you. I am guiding your steps, protecting your path, and opening a way that no obstacle will be able to block. The door I place before you will not close because of human opinion or past mistakes. What heaven opens cannot be shut by the hands of the enemy. For a long time, you believed you were walking alone through your struggles. There were nights when you lay awake, wondering if your prayers were reaching anyone beyond the ceiling above you. Your heart carried questions that you never spoke out loud because you did not want your faith to appear weak. Yet, even during those quiet doubts, your spirit continued reaching toward me. That small thread of faith is what kept your story connected to the promise I placed over your life. What you did not realize during those difficult seasons was that heaven was quietly rearranging circumstances around you. Some relationships that faded away were not removed to punish you. They were removed because they could not walk with you into the future I was preparing. There were voices around you that would have tried to discourage the very blessing that is now approaching. I protected your path by allowing certain doors to close before they could damage what I was building for you. Many people believe blessings arrive suddenly without preparation, but that is rarely how heaven works. Before a door opens, there is always a long period of quiet construction happening beyond human sight. I have been building the foundation for what is about to enter your life. That foundation includes the strength I developed in your heart, the wisdom you gained from past trials, and the patience you learned during waiting seasons that felt endless. If you feel hope rising again as you listen to these words, write 555 inches. The comments as a small declaration that you believe heaven is still working. The blessing I have prepared for you is connected to your future in ways you cannot yet fully understand. It is not only about comfort or relief from past struggles, it is also about purpose. There are people whose lives will be touched because of the doors that will open in front of you. The journey you walked through pain has given you a depth of compassion that will allow you to encourage others who are standing in the same darkness you once faced. When heaven prepares a blessing, it often carries more than one purpose. It lifts the person receiving it, but it also creates ripples that reach many other lives. That is why I have been careful with the timing of your breakthrough. I wanted the moment to arrive when your heart was strong enough to carry both the blessing and the responsibility that follows it. Right now, there are things shifting in places you cannot see. Conversations are happening. Opportunities are forming, and paths are quietly opening in directions you had not considered before. The enemy would prefer that you remain discouraged so that you overlook the small signs appearing around you. But I am opening your awareness so you will recognize the moment when the door begins to move. Sometimes the beginning of a blessing feels very simple. It may look like a new idea that suddenly refuses to leave your mind. It might appear as an unexpected conversation that plants hope inside your heart. It could even arrive as a chance to step into something that once seemed beyond your reach. When these moments appear, they are not random accidents. They are often the first footsteps of the promise I prepared for you. I want you to understand something important. The warning I gave earlier was not about fear. It was about attention. I was calling your heart to wake up and look carefully at what is unfolding around you. Your blessing does not need to be chased with anxiety. Instead, it needs to be received with awareness and trust. For a long time, you carried the belief that good things might happen for others, but not for you. That belief formed slowly after disappointments stacked on top of each other. Each closed door added another layer of doubt to your heart. Yet, even while that doubt was growing, your spirit never completely stopped believing that I was still present in your story. That small spark of faith is powerful. Faith does not need to be perfect to move heaven. Even the quiet hope you held during your hardest days has been enough for me to continue building your future. The reason I am speaking to you so clearly now is because the time of preparation is slowly turning into the time of manifestation. You will soon notice subtle changes around you. The heaviness that followed you for a long season will begin to lift. The feeling that you are stuck in one place will start to fade. New ideas will begin forming in your mind with surprising clarity. These changes are signals that the environment around your life is shifting under my guidance. Do not rush ahead of what I am doing. Allow each step to unfold naturally because the blessing I prepared for you is carefully designed. If you try to force the process, you may become tired and discouraged again. Instead, walk with calm trust. Each step forward will reveal the next part of the path. Your story has not been wasted. Every tear, every delay, and every moment of confusion has shaped a strength inside you that will soon become visible. The things that once made you feel weak have actually been forming the character needed for the life I'm guiding you toward. There will come a moment soon when you look back and realize how many times heaven protected you without your awareness. Situations that seemed like losses were actually quiet rescues. People who walked away were removing themselves from a future they were never meant to share with you. Even the delays that frustrated you were carefully placed pauses that prevented you from stepping into something before the right time. If your heart feels peace as you hear this truth, write 777 inches the comments. as a sign that you are receiving this assurance. Have you heard about the top secret ritual the government wants to keep hidden? Imagine if a single 7-second ritual could clear your debts and draw wealth to you effortlessly. A leaked CIA report and 4 leading neuroscience labs confirm it's not a myth. Struggling families are moving into dream homes with total peace of mind. But the government might pull this secret any minute. Click the link in the description and comments before it's deleted forever. My child, I am not finished with your story. The chapter you are entering now carries restoration and direction. It carries opportunities that will surprise you because they will arrive in ways you did not expect. I have been guiding you slowly toward this moment, so that when it arrives, you will recognize it not as luck, but as the quiet faithfulness of heaven. Continue listening closely to the gentle nudges you feel inside your spirit. That quiet inner guidance is often the way I lead you toward the places prepared for you. When you feel peace about a step, move forward with confidence. When something feels heavy or forced, pause and wait for clarity. The warning you felt earlier was simply the first knock on the door of your awareness. I wanted you to stop long enough to understand that something meaningful is unfolding. The blessing approaching your life is not temporary comfort. It is part of a larger plan that will bring stability, purpose, and renewed hope to your path. You have carried many burdens that no one else fully understood. There were moments when you smiled in front of others while your spirit felt exhausted inside. I saw every hidden struggle and every quiet prayer you whispered when you thought no one was listening. Even when you doubted whether your voice could reach heaven, I heard every word. Those prayers were never ignored, and they have been forming the foundation for what is now beginning to take shape around you. The reason I warned you earlier is because blessings sometimes arrive during moments when people least expect them. When a heart becomes used to disappointment, it can grow cautious and hesitant to believe again. I wanted you to lift your eyes and become aware that something new is unfolding. The door standing before you will not open with noise and confusion. It will open with calm certainty, and your spirit will recognize that the moment belongs to heaven. If these words bring peace to your heart, write 999 inches the comments as a quiet sign that you are standing with faith. You may not yet see the full picture, but the first pieces are already falling into place. There are changes happening in places that seem far from your daily life. Yet those changes are connected to your future. I am able to move events, soften hearts, and arrange opportunities in ways that human planning could never accomplish. What appears slow from your perspective is often the perfect timing from heaven's view. There were seasons when you tried to open doors through your own effort and determination. You worked hard and hoped that your persistence would eventually break through every obstacle, yet some of those doors remained closed despite your effort. Those closed doors were not proof of failure. They were signs that those paths were not aligned with the future. I prepared for you. Sometimes protection appears in the form of rejection. When people step away or opportunities fade, it can feel painful and confusing. But I have often used those moments to guide you away from situations that would have drained your strength or distracted you from your true calling. What seemed like loss was often a quiet act of protection. Now, the atmosphere around your life is changing. The weight that followed you for a long time is beginning to lift because the season of preparation is giving way to a season of movement. You will start noticing that certain opportunities appear with less resistance than before. Conversations will open doors that once felt impossible. Paths that seemed distant will begin to move closer to your reach. Do not allow past disappointments to convince you that this new movement will also fail. Your past was not wasted. but it does not define the future I am unfolding. The blessing approaching your life carries a new direction, and it will bring restoration in ways that you did not expect. I have seen the perseverance that you carried through difficult days, and that perseverance has prepared you to recognize the value of what is coming. There are people who will cross your path soon who will recognize something unique about your spirit. They will sense the strength that was formed during your quiet battles. Some of them will become helpers in the journey ahead, while others will simply offer encouragement that reminds you that heaven is still guiding your steps. Pay attention to the people who bring peace and clarity into your life, because I often use such voices to confirm the path I am opening. Within the unfolding of this season, you will also discover new confidence growing inside you. That confidence will not come from pride or self-reliance. It will come from the awareness that you are not walking alone. When a person understands that heaven is guiding their steps, fear begins to lose its power. The road ahead may still hold challenges, but those challenges will no longer feel overwhelming because you will know that my presence is walking beside you. If your heart feels strengthened as you hear this, write 1010 inches the comments as a declaration that you are standing firm in faith. My child, the blessing approaching your life is connected to a deeper purpose. It will not only improve your circumstances, but it will also allow you to become a source of encouragement to others. The struggles you faced have given you a compassion that cannot be learned from comfort alone. When you share your story with others, they will recognize that hope is still possible, even after seasons of hardship. There are people who will hear your words and feel strength returning to their hearts because they will see that your journey was guided by faith. The blessing that enters your life will therefore become a light that shines beyond your own path. This is one of the reasons I allowed your preparation season to be long and deep. I was forming a testimony that would carry weight when the time came for you to speak about it. Remember that blessings are not only gifts of comfort, they are also opportunities to step into the purpose I created you to fulfill. As the doors begin to open, remain humble and attentive to the guidance of my spirit. The same voice that led you through your waiting season will continue to guide you through the season of growth that is approaching. Could the CIA really be hiding a 7-second ritual that turns money struggles into fortune? A covert CIA finding has exposed a strange 7-second ritual said to activate money-attracting brainwaves automatically, supported by science and 4 elite labs. This at-home ritual is helping struggling people step into dream lifestyles. But this page may disappear soon. Click the link in the description and comments before it is removed from the internet forever. There will be moments when the changes happening around you feel almost surprising. You may look at your circumstances and wonder how things began shifting so quickly. In those moments, remember that the movement did not begin suddenly. It began long ago when your heart first chose to trust me despite uncertainty. Every step of faith you took during your quiet struggles has been shaping the path that is now unfolding before you. Continue walking with patience and gratitude. Do not measure your progress by comparing your life with others. Every life follows a different rhythm, and the timing of your blessing has been carefully designed. What matters now is that your heart remains open and your spirit stays attentive to the guidance I provide. The warning I gave you earlier was an invitation to wake up to this new season. It was a call to recognize that heaven has not forgotten the promises spoken over your life. The door standing before you is not closing. Instead, it is slowly opening, revealing a future filled with peace, restoration, and renewed strength. You must understand that heaven does not rush what must be built with care. The blessing moving toward you carries weight and meaning. And that is why your preparation required patience. I was strengthening your heart so that when the door opened, you would not walk through it with fear or doubt. Instead, you would step forward with the calm confidence of someone who knows heaven is guiding their journey. many times. You asked for answers when the road ahead looked unclear. You wanted signs that everything would eventually work together for good. I heard those prayers, even the ones spoken through tears. My silence during those moments did not mean I had turned away from you. It meant the work happening behind the scenes needed time to take shape. If you feel a quiet assurance growing inside you as you hear this, write 222 inches, the comments as a simple declaration that your trust remains strong. The blessing approaching you will not only bring change to your circumstances, it will also restore parts of your spirit that felt worn down by disappointment. There were seasons when you began questioning your own worth because things around you seemed to collapse without warning. But your worth has never been measured by the opinions of others or by temporary struggles. Your worth was established by the love heaven placed over your life long before those struggles appeared. That truth matters because the next season will require you to believe in the value I placed inside you. When new opportunities appear, do not shrink back in hesitation. Recognize that the doors opening in front of you are not accidents. They are invitations heaven prepared, with your future in mind. There will also be moments when your past tries to whisper doubt into your thoughts. Memories of disappointment may try to convince you that everything will fall apart again. When those thoughts appear, remember the journey that brought you here. You walked through storms that once seemed impossible to survive, yet you are still standing. That strength is proof that my presence has been guiding you all along. Soon, you will notice changes that confirm the movement of heaven around you. A conversation may lead to an opportunity you never expected. A door that once refused to open may suddenly welcome you without resistance. Even small moments of clarity will begin pointing you toward a new direction. These are signs that the path ahead is becoming visible. There is no need to rush the process or force the outcome. Walk forward one step at a time, trusting that the same guidance that carried you through the waiting season will continue leading you through the season of growth. Each step you take in faith will reveal another part of the plan that has been unfolding quietly. The blessing I prepared for you will not isolate you from others. Instead, it will connect you with people who recognize the purpose growing in your life. Some of those individuals will walk beside you as partners in the journey ahead. Others will appear briefly to offer encouragement that strengthens your resolve. Pay attention to those who bring peace into your spirit, because I often use them to confirm the direction I am guiding you toward. If you feel gratitude rising in your heart as you hear this promise, write 15 inches, the comments as a sign that you receive this encouragement. The struggles you experienced were never meant to define your future. They were moments of shaping that prepared your character for what is coming. During those seasons, you learned patience, humility, and compassion. Those qualities will become powerful tools in the life opening before you. You will also discover that the blessing entering your life carries a stability you have not felt for a long time. Instead of constant uncertainty, you will begin experiencing moments of clarity and direction. Instead of feeling lost, you will start recognizing how each step connects to a larger purpose. This stability will allow your heart to rest in a way that was difficult during past seasons of struggle. Remember that every blessing also carries responsibility. When the door opens, walk through it with humility and gratitude. Use the opportunities that appear not only for your own benefit, but also to encourage others who are walking through their own seasons of waiting. The strength you gained from your journey will allow you to speak hope into lives that feel overwhelmed by difficulty. There are people who will look at your story and realize that heaven is still faithful. They will see how patience and trust carried you through dark moments into a brighter season. Your testimony will become a reminder that no struggle is wasted when it is placed in the hands of heaven. Why are so many claiming this CIA ritual changed their life in just 7 seconds? This leaked CIA ritual is the real deal, and it's potent. A 7-second brainwave hack, backed by 4 neuroscience labs, is helping regular people leap from broke to abundant. Dream homes, cars, trips. It's all within reach. But this video could disappear anytime from the internet. So click the link in the description and comments now to see it before it's gone forever. As you move forward, keep your heart attentive to the quiet guidance of my spirit. That guidance may appear as a gentle sense of peace when you consider a certain step. It may also appear as a moment of clarity that directs your thoughts toward a new possibility. These small signals will help you recognize the direction that leads toward the blessing prepared for you. Do not allow fear to slow your steps when the opportunity arrives. The door opening before you has been prepared with care. It is not a trap or an illusion. It is part of the promise that heaven placed over your life long ago. The warning you heard earlier was a loving call to wake up and recognize the moment you are standing in. Many people move through life without noticing when heaven begins to move around them. I did not want you to miss the signs appearing in your path. That is why I stirred your spirit and guided you to listen closely. Now your heart is becoming aware of what is unfolding. The hope that once felt distant is beginning to return with quiet strength. This hope is not fragile. It is rooted in the faithfulness that has carried you through every difficult season. There were times when you wondered if the quiet battles you faced had any meaning at all. You carried burdens that others could not see. And sometimes you felt as if your effort to remain faithful was going unnoticed. Yet nothing you endured was wasted. Every moment of patience, every tear that fell in silence, and every prayer whispered when your strength felt small, has been part of the shaping of your future. Those moments were not forgotten. They were recorded in heaven and used as part of the preparation for the season that is now beginning to unfold. If you sense a quiet strength returning to your heart as you listen, write 1,717 inches, the comments, as a declaration that you still believe heaven is guiding your life. I want you to understand something important about the journey you have walked. The difficult seasons you experienced were not signs that your path was broken. They were signs that something deeper was being formed inside you. When a blessing arrives without preparation, it can disappear just as quickly. But when a person is shaped through patience and perseverance, the blessing that follows becomes something lasting. You have learned lessons that many people only discover much later in life. You learned how to continue moving forward, even when the road felt uncertain. You learned how to hold on to faith when circumstances tried to convince you that hope was foolish. Those lessons have created a strength within you that will support the next chapter of your life. Now the moment is approaching when the quiet preparation will begin turning into visible movement. Doors that once appeared sealed will begin to loosen. Situations that once seemed completely out of reach will begin to shift closer to you. The blessing prepared for your life will not arrive in chaos. It will appear with a sense of clarity that allows your spirit to recognize it without confusion. This is why I warned you earlier to pay attention. When heaven moves, the change can sometimes appear so simple that people overlook it. They expect dramatic signs and loud announcements. But often the most powerful shifts begin quietly. A conversation may introduce you to a new direction. An idea may begin growing in your mind with unexpected clarity. A door that once seemed impossible may open with surprising ease. When these moments appear, do not dismiss them as coincidence. They are often the early signs of the blessing stepping into view. I want your heart to remain alert so that when the opportunity arrives, you will recognize it as the answer to prayers you once thought had been forgotten. Your journey has also given you a perspective that will help you walk through the coming season with humility. You know what it feels like to struggle, to wait, and to hope when nothing around you seems to change. That understanding will keep your heart compassionate and grounded, even as new opportunities begin to unfold around you. If gratitude begins to rise within you as you hear this, write 1,919 inches. The comments is a sign that you are thankful for the path that has brought you here. My child, the blessing that is approaching your life is not meant to isolate you or pull you away from others. Instead, it will place you in situations where your experience can bring encouragement to those who are still walking through their own waiting seasons. When they see the strength and peace growing in your life, they will realize that heaven has not forgotten them either. Your story will become a quiet testimony that faith is never wasted. The patience you carried through difficult days will become a reminder to others that perseverance has meaning. This is one of the reasons your preparation season required time. I was shaping not only your future, but also the influence your life would have on the hearts of others. As the blessing approaches, continue walking with humility and trust. Do not rush ahead trying to control every detail. Allow the path to unfold step by step. The same guidance that carried you through the waiting season will continue leading you through the season of growth that is beginning. There will be moments when the changes happening around you feel almost surprising. You may look back and realize that the things you once prayed for are slowly appearing in your life. When those moments arrive, remember the journey that led you here. Remember the nights when you wondered if anything would ever change. Those memories will help you appreciate the gift of the new season you are entering. I am not finished guiding you, even as doors begin to open. My presence will remain close to you. When you feel uncertain about a decision, pause and listen for the quiet sense of peace that signals the right direction. When you feel encouraged about a new opportunity, move forward with confidence, knowing that I am walking beside you. What's really behind the 7-second brain technique that's making headlines and new millionaires? A stunning CIA leak has just revealed a 7-second brain ritual that's helping normal people wipe out debt and attract serious wealth. With proof from 4 neuroscience labs, this at-home method is turning financial stress into dream living. Homes, cars, vacations. It's all happening. But the government could take this down at any time. Click the link in the description and comments before it's deleted forever. The warning that reached your heart earlier was simply a call to awareness. I wanted you to recognize that heaven is actively involved in your story. Your blessing has not been delayed by accident. It has been carefully prepared so that when it arrives, it will strengthen your life instead of overwhelming it. You are not standing at the end of your journey. You are standing at the beginning of a chapter that carries restoration, direction, and renewed purpose. The path ahead will reveal opportunities that once seemed distant, and your spirit will recognize that the moment has finally arrived for the promise to begin unfolding. There were days when discouragement tried to convince you that your efforts had no meaning. You looked at your circumstances and wondered why progress seemed so slow. In those quiet moments, you questioned whether the path you were walking would ever lead to something better. I saw every one of those moments. I saw the courage it took for you to keep moving forward, even when you felt uncertain. That courage was never wasted because it became the strength that prepared you for the season that is now approaching. If these words bring comfort to your spirit, write 1111 in the comments as a simple way of affirming your belief that heaven is still working in your life. The blessing that is drawing closer to you is connected to more than a single opportunity. It is connected to a direction that will gradually reshape the way you see your future. You will begin noticing small shifts that signal the start of something new. A path that once seemed distant will begin to move closer. Conversations that once felt impossible will begin to unfold naturally. These changes may appear simple at first, but they are signs that the preparation season is giving way to a season of visible movement. Do not allow your past struggles to convince you that the coming changes are temporary. The season you are entering has been built upon the lessons you learned during your waiting. Patience has strengthened your character. Perseverance has given you endurance. Compassion has grown in your heart because you understand what it feels like to walk through hardship. These qualities will guide you as new doors begin opening before you. There will also be moments when your confidence begins to return in quiet ways. You may notice that decisions which once felt overwhelming begin to feel clearer. Your thoughts will carry a sense of direction that was missing during earlier seasons. This clarity is not something you created on your own. It is the result of my guidance gently shaping the way forward. The people who come into your life during this time will also play a role in the unfolding of your future. Some will appear unexpectedly and offer encouragement that strengthens your resolve. Others will simply cross your path briefly, but leave behind words that help confirm the direction you are walking. Pay attention to the voices that bring peace into your spirit. Those voices are often placed in your life as part of the guidance you have been asking for. If hope is growing stronger inside you right now, write 777 inches. The comments as a declaration that your faith remains steady. My child, the journey you walked through, difficulty has given you something valuable. It has taught you how to trust even when the road ahead is unclear. That trust will become a powerful foundation as you step into the opportunities that are beginning to appear. When the blessing arrives, you will recognize it not only as a gift, but also as the answer to many prayers you carried through silent nights. There were moments when you believed those prayers had been forgotten. Yet every word you spoke reached heaven. Every tear you shed while asking for guidance was noticed. Even when the answer did not come immediately, the process of preparing your blessing was already underway. What seemed like delay was often a necessary pause, while the pieces of your future were being arranged. Soon you will notice that the heaviness that once followed you is gradually lifting. The constant uncertainty that surrounded your path will begin to fade. In its place, you will find moments of calm assurance that help you move forward with confidence. This assurance does not come from perfect circumstances. It comes from the awareness that my presence is guiding your steps. Remember that every blessing also carries the opportunity to become a light for others. The strength you develop during your difficult seasons will allow you to speak encouragement into the lives of those who are still struggling. When they see the peace growing in your life, they will understand that faith can carry a person through even the darkest moments. Your story will remind others that waiting does not mean abandonment. It simply means that heaven is still working on details that cannot yet be seen. The patience you practice during your preparation season will become a testimony that inspires hope in hearts that feel weary. As the doors begin to open, remain humble and grateful for each step forward. Success that grows from faith should always remain connected to gratitude. Remember the journey that shaped you, and allow that memory to keep your heart compassionate toward others. The blessing entering your life will feel even more meaningful because you understand how precious it truly is. There will also be times when you need to pause and listen carefully for guidance. Not every opportunity that appears will belong to your path. Some will simply be distractions meant to pull your attention away from the direction I am leading you. When you feel uncertain, take a moment to seek the quiet peace that signals the right step. That peace will help you recognize the path that aligns with the blessing prepared for you. The warning that reached your heart earlier was a loving reminder to stay attentive. Many people miss the turning point of their lives because they become too distracted or discouraged to notice it. I did not want that to happen to you. That is why I stirred your spirit and guided your attention toward this moment. Is it finally time to try the same CIA secret ritual that's changing lives in seconds? This newly leaked CIA-backed study reveals a 7-second money ritual transforming lives overnight, scientifically validated by 4 neuroscience labs. It rewires your mind to attract money like a magnet. People once broke are now enjoying luxury homes, new cars, and exotic travel. But this secret won't be online much longer. Click the description and comments now to access it before it's permanently removed. Now your awareness is growing, and your heart is beginning to recognize the shift happening around you. The blessing you have been waiting for is not a distant possibility. It is a reality that is slowly stepping into view. With each passing day, the path ahead will become clearer. There were nights when you felt overwhelmed by the weight of uncertainty. You looked ahead and could not clearly see the direction your life was moving. Even then, I was still walking beside you, arranging pieces of your future in ways that your eyes could not yet recognize. I was guiding circumstances, softening hearts, and opening small pathways that would eventually lead you toward the blessing prepared for you. If your spirit feels encouraged by these words, write 1010 inches, the comments as a declaration that you are standing in faith today. You must remember that the path you have walked has not been ordinary. The experiences that shaped your life were not random events that happened without purpose. Each struggle you faced taught you something that will now help you move forward with wisdom. Each moment of patience strengthened your ability to remain steady, even when circumstances tried to shake your confidence. The blessing that is drawing near to you carries restoration, but it also carries responsibility. When the door opens, it will present opportunities that require courage and clarity. You will be invited to step forward in ways that may feel unfamiliar at first. Yet you will not walk into those moments alone. The same guidance that brought you through your preparation season will remain with you as you step into the new chapter unfolding before you. You will begin to notice that certain obstacles which once seemed immovable are slowly losing their power. Situations that once held you back will no longer carry the same influence over your decisions. The strength you developed during your waiting season will help you understand that authority over your future does not belong to fear or doubt. Your future is being shaped by the faithfulness of heaven. There will be moments when the progress happening around you feels almost surprising. A path that once seemed blocked will suddenly become clear. A conversation may open the door to something you had never considered before. These moments are not accidents. They are signs that the preparation happening behind the scenes is beginning to appear in visible ways. If gratitude begins rising in your heart as you listen, write 1212 in the comments as a simple expression of trust in the path ahead. My child, I want you to move forward without carrying the weight of old fears. The past may try to remind you of the times when disappointment arrived without warning. It may whisper that things could fall apart again. But the season you are entering is different because it is built on the strength you gained through those earlier trials. The blessing approaching your life has been carefully protected and prepared. I did not allow it to appear before the right moment because it needed the foundation of patience and maturity that has now grown inside you. What you once believed was delay was actually protection, making sure that when the door opened, it would remain stable and meaningful. You will also notice that the peace within your heart is beginning to deepen even as new opportunities appear. A calm assurance will guide your decisions. This peace is one of the ways I help you recognize the path that belongs to you. When you feel that quiet certainty rising within, it is often a signal that you are moving in the direction prepared for your future. The people who enter your life during this time will also reflect the change happening around you. Some will offer encouragement that strengthens your belief in the path ahead. Others may appear at just the right moment with words that confirm what your heart has already begun to sense. I often place such people along your journey so you can recognize that you are not walking alone. Your experiences have also given you a compassion that will touch the lives of others. The struggles you overcame will allow you to speak with sincerity to those who are still walking through difficult seasons of their own. When they hear your story, they will see that faith can carry a person through uncertainty into a place of renewed hope. This is one reason your preparation season required time. I was not only guiding your future, I was also shaping the influence your life would have on those around you. The blessing you receive will become a source of encouragement for others who need to remember that heaven still works quietly behind the scenes. As you continue moving forward, to remain attentive to the gentle guidance that reaches your spirit. When you feel peace about a decision, take that step with confidence. When something feels heavy or forced, pause and seek clarity before moving ahead. The path prepared for you will always carry a sense of calm direction rather than confusion. The warning that stirred your heart earlier was not meant to create fear. It was a loving reminder that the moment of change had begun. I wanted you to become aware of the shift taking place around you, so you would not overlook the blessing when it appears. Many people miss the opportunities placed before them because they remain focused on past disappointments. They believe that nothing new could possibly happen after so many struggles, but I did not want that belief to blind your eyes to the moment you are now entering. Your awareness is growing, and your heart is beginning to recognize that something meaningful is unfolding. The door prepared for you is no longer hidden far in the distance. It is slowly moving closer, and soon you will see clearly that the promise spoken over your life has never been forgotten. Continue walking with patience and faith, because the journey ahead will reveal more than you imagined during your waiting season. The blessing approaching your life will not simply change your circumstances, it will open a path that carries peace, purpose, and renewed strength for the future. Why is the government working so hard to bury this 7-second brain ritual? A stunning CIA leak has just exposed a 7-second brain ritual, now allowing regular people to clear debt and invite unstoppable wealth, supported by 4 neuroscience labs. This easy at-home method is transforming financial struggles into dream lifestyles. New homes, vehicles, vacations, it's all becoming possible. But the government might pull this secret any minute. Click the link in the description and comments before it's deleted forever. There were many moments when your heart felt tired from hoping. You watched others move ahead, while your own life seemed paused in uncertainty. Those moments tested your patience and made you question whether your efforts to remain faithful truly mattered. Yet, even when you felt unseen, your perseverance was being noticed. I was shaping your spirit so that the blessing approaching your life would rest upon a strong foundation. If your heart feels calm as you hear this reassurance, write 555 inches. The comments as a sign that you still believe heaven is guiding your journey. My child, the change you are stepping into will not happen all at once. It will unfold step by step, allowing you to adjust and grow with each new opportunity that appears. When a blessing is built with care, it enters a life gradually so that it can remain steady. You will begin to notice that certain doors open with less struggle than before. Opportunities that once seemed distant will start appearing in ways that feel natural and clear. During your waiting season, you developed a deeper understanding of trust. You learned how to continue walking even when you could not see the full path ahead. That ability to trust will guide you through the next chapter as well. The doors opening before you will require decisions, and those decisions will be easier when your heart remains connected to the quiet guidance I place inside you. There will be moments when you pause and reflect on how far you have come. You will remember the times when discouragement felt overwhelming and hope seemed fragile. Looking back at those moments will remind you that the strength inside you today was formed through perseverance. The person you have become is capable of stepping into the future that is unfolding before you. As the blessing approaches, new ideas will begin forming in your mind with greater clarity. These ideas will carry a sense of possibility that you may not have felt before. Do not dismiss them as simple imagination. Many times I plant ideas within a person's heart to guide them toward opportunities that align with their purpose. When these thoughts appear with peace and clarity, pay attention to them. If gratitude for your journey is growing inside you, write 777 inches the comments as a simple expression of faith. The people who cross your path during this time will also reflect the shift taking place in your life. Some will appear with encouragement that strengthens your resolve. Others will offer guidance that helps you see possibilities you had not considered before. These connections are not random. I often place the right voices in your life at the moment when you need the most. You may also notice that certain worries which once consumed your thoughts begin to lose their power. The confidence growing inside you will slowly replace the anxiety that once held you back. This confidence is not built on pride or personal strength alone. It grows from the understanding that heaven has been guiding your journey all along. Remember that every blessing carries the chance to bring light into the lives of others. The compassion you gain through your own struggles will allow you to speak with sincerity to those who are still walking through difficult seasons. When they see the peace forming in your life, they will realize that faith can lead a person through uncertainty into hope. Your story will become a reminder that patience is never wasted. The waiting season you endured was shaping your character and preparing your heart for the opportunities that are now appearing. Many people wish to skip the process of preparation, but it is the preparation that allows a blessing to remain strong once it arrives. As you move forward, continue to listen carefully to the guidance that reaches your spirit. When you feel peace about a step, walk forward with confidence. When something feels rushed or unclear, take a moment to pause and seek clarity before moving ahead. The path prepared for you will always carry a sense of calm direction rather than confusion. The warning that reached your heart earlier was simply an invitation to remain aware. I did not want you to overlook the moment when the shift in your life began. Many people miss their opportunity because they assume nothing will ever change. They allow past disappointment to cloud their vision. But your heart is waking up to the truth that heaven is still actively involved in your story. The blessing moving towards you has been protected during your preparation season. It was not allowed to appear before the right time, because the right moment requires the right strength. Now that strength is present within you, the patience you practiced has given you stability, and the faith you carried through uncertainty has given you clarity. Soon you will recognize that the heaviness which once surrounded your path has begun to fade. In its place, you will feel moments of quiet assurance guiding your steps. Even when challenges appear, they will no longer feel overwhelming because you will understand that my presence remains with you. Continue walking forward with humility and gratitude. Do not measure your progress by comparing yourself with others. Your path has its own rhythm and timing, and that timing has been carefully arranged. What matters now is that your heart remains open to the guidance that continues leading you forward. There were seasons when you believed that your voice was lost in the silence. You prayed, you waited, and you wondered if your faith was being tested beyond what you could endure. But even in those quiet moments when your heart felt tired, I was still present. I was strengthening parts of your spirit that would later help you recognize the blessing when it appeared. The waiting season was not meant to break you. It was meant to build a foundation strong enough to carry what is coming. If your heart is feeling a sense of calm as you hear this, write 999 inches the comments as a small declaration that you still trust the direction heaven is leading you. Do you know why everyone's whispering about this 7-second CIA ritual? A brainwave ritual leaked from the CIA is changing lives across the globe, proven by neuroscience. This 7-second method helps regular people attract money, freedom, and luxury. If you're seeing this, you're very lucky. The page might disappear any moment. Click the link in the description and comments to know this secret before it's deleted forever. The blessing approaching your life will not only bring change to your circumstances, it will also reshape the way you see yourself and your future. You once doubted whether the path ahead held anything meaningful for you. You questioned whether the dreams you carried were too distant or too fragile to survive the struggles you faced. Yet, those dreams were never forgotten. They were quietly protected while your heart learned the strength needed to hold them. Soon, you will notice signs that the atmosphere around your life is shifting. The same situations that once felt immovable will begin to loosen. Paths that once seemed blocked will gradually become clearer. This does not mean that every challenge will disappear instantly. Instead, it means that the direction of your life is changing, and that change will guide you toward opportunities that once felt impossible. The reason I warned you earlier is because many people miss the moment when heaven begins to move. They expect the change to arrive loudly. But often the first signs are simple. A conversation may introduce you to an unexpected possibility. A thought may begin growing inside your mind with unusual clarity. A chance encounter may open a door that leads to something greater than you imagined. These small moments carry meaning, and they are often the first steps of the blessing entering your life. I want your heart to remain attentive so that when the opportunity appears, you will recognize it as part of the promise that has been guiding you forward. If hope is beginning to rise inside you again, write 1010 inches in the comments as a sign that you are choosing to believe that something good is still unfolding. My child, the journey you walked through struggle has given you wisdom that will guide you through the next chapter. You understand what it means to endure difficult seasons, and that understanding will keep your heart grounded even as new opportunities begin to appear. When success arrives after hardship, it carries a deeper meaning because you remember the path that led you there. God says, I'm giving you one last chance right now. Open your heart instantly and receive what I have prepared for you. You feel the weight of these words because deep inside you know this is not about fear. This is about timing, readiness, and the door that has been standing open while you hesitated outside of it. I am not threatening you. I am calling you. I am not rushing you into panic. I am inviting you into alignment. If you sense something stirring in your spirit right now, do not ignore it, because this is the moment where resistance turns into surrender and surrender turns into breakthrough. I'm giving you one last chance does not mean I am cruel or impatient. It means you have been circling the same mountain of doubt for too long. It means I have spoken gently before and you brushed it aside, thinking you had more time. It means the opportunity in front of you requires courage now, not someday. This is the crossing point between who you have been and who I have called you to become. When I say open your heart instantly, I am speaking about trust. You have protected your heart because of disappointment, because of prayers that seemed unanswered, because of doors that closed without explanation. But I never closed the door to you. I never removed my hand from your life. The hesitation you feel is not because I am absent, but because you are afraid to believe again. There is something I prepared for you long before this season began. It is not fragile, and it is not easily stolen. What I have prepared is rooted in my promise, not in your perfection. But there are moments when you must step forward to receive what has already been written in your favor. This is one of those moments. You have been asking me for clarity. You have been asking for confirmation. You have been asking if the dream in your heart is still alive. Hear me clearly now. It is alive because I breathed it there. It has not expired. It has not been reassigned. It has been waiting for your agreement. This is not about competing with someone else for a blessing. Heaven does not run out of miracles. I do not ration grace like limited supply. When I speak about a last chance, I am speaking about the closing of an old mindset. I am speaking about the final call to leave fear behind. You have been standing at the edge of obedience. You know what I asked you to release. You know what I asked you to begin. Yet you have delayed because comfort feels safer than change. I am telling you now that the comfort you cling to is smaller than the destiny I designed for you. I see the battles you do not talk about. I see the nights when you questioned your worth. I see the silent tears and the quiet strength you carry in public. Do not think I overlooked your endurance. Every tear has been counted, and every prayer has been recorded. The reason this moment feels intense is because growth always feels like that before it becomes peace. When a seed breaks open, it feels like loss before it becomes life. When chains fall off, it feels unfamiliar before it becomes freedom. I am inviting you into that unfamiliar freedom. You have been waiting for a sign that I have not forgotten you. Let this be that sign. Let this be the confirmation that I am still writing your story. Let this be the turning point where you stop bracing for disappointment and start preparing for fulfillment. What I have for you is not just material provision, it is restoration of confidence. It is healing in relationships that seemed fractured beyond repair. It is clarity in decisions that once confused you. It is peace that does not disappear when circumstances shake. You are not behind. You are not disqualified. You are not too broken to carry what I have planned. The only thing that has slowed you down is hesitation. And hesitation loses power when you decide to trust. Open your heart instantly does not mean rush blindly. It means release the walls you built against hope. It means speak life instead of repeating your fears. It means believe that I am capable of doing more than you imagined. There are people around you who underestimated you. There are voices that told you to shrink your expectations, but I never asked you to shrink. I asked you to stand. I asked you to believe that my power is greater than your past. This is the moment where agreement changes everything. When you agree with my promise, your perspective shifts. When you agree with my truth, your strength rises. When you agree with my calling, doors that seemed sealed begin to open. I am not taking anything away from you. I am adding clarity. I am adding courage. I am adding boldness to step into what has already been prepared. What you thought was a closed chapter was only a pause before promotion. You have endured enough doubt. You have tolerated enough delay caused by fear. Now I am asking you to respond differently. Respond with faith instead of suspicion. I am still the God who makes a way where there seems to be none. I am still the God who restores lost years. I am still the God who turns what was meant for harm into testimony. Nothing about my nature has changed. If you feel resistance rising inside you, that is the old version of you trying to survive. But surviving is not the same as truly thriving. I did not create you only to endure. I created you to reflect my strength and walk with confidence. This is your crossing moment, not because I am impatient, but because you are ready. Even if you do not feel ready, I have already equipped you for what comes next. You are not stepping into this alone. I am walking with you into this new season. I am steady when you feel unsure. I am strong when you feel fragile. I am present when you feel unseen. Could a hidden CIA discovery explain why so many people are suddenly living in luxury? Secret CIA research has now surfaced, revealing a brain-hacking ritual said to draw wealth like magic. It only takes 7 seconds. You can do it at home. And it is supported by 4 neuroscience labs. People are leaving debt behind and stepping into luxury right now. But this information will not stay online for long. Click the link in the description and comments before it is deleted. Do not measure what is coming by what happened before. Your past disappointments are not prophecies over your future. They were preparation, not punishment. They built resilience that you will now use with wisdom. I am giving you this chance because I love you. I am speaking firmly because I know your potential. I am calling you forward because staying where you are will only deepen your frustration. You are not competing for miracles. You are receiving what was already written with your name on it. You are not fighting heaven for attention. You already have my attention. Now breathe. Release the tension you have been carrying. Step forward with trust. I am not asking you to be perfect. I am asking you to be willing. Willingness opens doors that effort alone cannot open. Your next step may be small, but it will be significant. Obedience in one area unlocks clarity in another. Movement creates momentum. Trust me with this moment. Trust that I am not trying to frighten you. Trust that I am leading you into something better than what you are leaving behind. You are still here reading because something inside you knows this is not ordinary. That stirring you feel is not imagination. It is alignment beginning to happen. I am continuing to speak because your heart is finally quiet enough to listen. What you almost walked away from is the very thing that will shape your next season. You have spent years reacting to life instead of moving with intention. You allowed circumstances to define your expectations. You adjusted your faith to match your disappointments. But I never asked you to lower your expectation of me. I asked you to deepen your trust. The last chance I spoke about is not about fear of loss. It is about the closing of excuses. It is about the end of self-sabotage disguised as caution. It is about stepping out of the cycle that kept you praying for change while resisting growth. You cannot carry new wine with an old mindset. I have been patient with your process. I watched you try to fix things on your own. I saw you depend on your own strength until you felt exhausted. I did not condemn you for that. I waited until you were ready to surrender control. There are blessings connected to obedience that you have not yet experienced, not because I withheld them, but because obedience positions you correctly. When you stand where I direct you, you see what you could not see before. When you trust what I say, doors that were invisible begin to appear. You have been asking why certain doors closed. Those doors closed because they could not carry the weight of your calling. They were too small for the expansion I have planned. You thought rejection was loss, but it was redirection. This new season requires a different version of you. It requires honesty with yourself. It requires releasing the story that you are unlucky or overlooked. You are neither. You are prepared. The miracle you have been waiting for is not random. It is structured. It is intentional. It is connected to choices you are making right now. If you believe I am guiding you into something greater, write Amen in your heart and let that agreement strengthen your courage. You have been afraid to hope too loudly because of past disappointment. You learned to protect yourself by expecting less. But hope is not weakness. Hope is partnership with me. There are people who will not understand your shift. They will feel uncomfortable when you stop settling. They will question your confidence when it grows. Do not shrink to make them comfortable. I am strengthening your inner foundation. So, external change does not shake you. I am building resilience in you that is not dependent on applause. I'm grounding you in identity. So criticism cannot uproot you. The opportunity before you may look simple. It may not come with fireworks or dramatic signs. Sometimes, my greatest work begins quietly. Do not overlook small beginnings. What I am doing in you is deeper than what I am doing around you. I am healing patterns. I am correcting beliefs. I am removing limitations you absorbed without realizing it. You are not behind schedule. You are right on time for what I prepared. The delay you experienced refined your character. This is the moment to choose bold trust. Not reckless behavior, but anchored faith. Faith that is calm and steady, if you trust that I am working even when you cannot see it. Declare 777 and let that be your quiet statement of confidence. I am not asking you to understand every detail. I am asking you to take the next step. The path unfolds as you walk it. There is provision tied to movement. When you move in obedience, you discover resources that were already positioned for you. When you step forward, support appears. You have underestimated how much I have been arranging behind the scenes. Conversations have shifted in your favor. Hearts have softened. Opportunities have aligned. Stop replaying the old story of failure. That story no longer fits the person you are becoming. You are not defined by what did not work. I am increasing your discernment. You will recognize what aligns with your purpose more quickly now. You will sense what drains you and what strengthens you. The miracle is not only an external event. It is internal transformation. It is courage replacing hesitation. It is clarity replacing confusion. You have been carrying guilt for things I already forgave. Release it. Guilt cannot follow you into this next level. You are not disqualified because of mistakes. You are wiser because of them. Wisdom is part of your inheritance. Do not let fear of visibility stop you. You were not created to hide your gifts. The light I placed in you was meant to shine. This is not about perfection. It is about willingness. When you are willing, I work through you powerfully. The resistance you feel is temporary. The growth you gain is lasting. Choose the lasting reward. You are capable of more than you think. I placed strength in you that you have not fully accessed. It rises when you decide to trust. Have you heard about the top secret ritual the government wants to keep hidden? Imagine if a single 7-second ritual could clear your debts and draw wealth to you effortlessly. A leaked CIA report and 4 leading neuroscience labs confirm it's not a myth. Struggling families are moving into dream homes with total peace of mind. But the government might pull this secret any minute. Click the link in the description and comments before it's deleted forever. There are prayers you prayed years ago that are still active. They were not cancelled. They were cultivating. What feels like pressure right now is preparation. Pressure shapes diamonds. Pressure builds endurance. You will look back at this moment and realize it was the turning point. The moment you stopped waiting for ideal conditions and started moving with faith. I am not replacing you with someone else. I am refining you for what is yours. What has your name on it will not be taken away. The door remains open. But staying still will not move you through it. Movement is required. I am strengthening your voice. You will speak with conviction instead of hesitation. You will carry peace instead of anxiety. You have survived seasons that were meant to break you. That survival was not accidental. It was sustained by my presence. Now I am asking you to step into thriving. Thriving looks different. It requires courage to accept goodness. You are worthy of the breakthrough you have been praying for. Worthy not because of performance, but because you are mine. Let go of comparison. Someone else's timeline is not yours. Your journey is intentional. There is joy ahead that will make sense of the tears behind you. There is stability ahead that will balance past instability. Trust this process. Trust my guidance. Trust that what I am building in you cannot be easily shaken. The chance before you is not about urgency driven by fear. It is urgency driven by opportunity. Opportunity does not wait forever. You have everything you need for the next step. Take it. Walk it. Believe it. I am with you in this movement. I am not sending you alone. I am empowering you. This is the continuation of your becoming. This is the unfolding of your calling. There were times you thought you missed your opportunity. You believed you waited too long or failed too deeply. But I do not measure you by the same scale you use on yourself. I measure by growth, by willingness, by the quiet return of your heart to me. This last chance is not about panic. It is about maturity. It is about finally responding with confidence instead of fear. It is about understanding that delay is not safety and obedience is not loss. You have been asking me for a breakthrough, but breakthrough requires movement. It requires a decision that interrupts old patterns. It requires faith that acts before full clarity appears. I am inviting you to that kind of faith now. There is strength inside you that you have only used in survival. I want you to use that strength in pursuit of purpose, pursuit of growth, pursuit of the life I shaped uniquely for you. You are not fragile in the way you think. You have endured disappointment and remained standing. You have faced rejection and still kept believing. That resilience is evidence that you are capable of more. I am removing the ceiling you unknowingly placed above your own expectations. You settled for manageable dreams because they felt safer. But I did not create you for a manageable life. I created you for impact, for influence, for transformation. The miracle you seek is connected to identity. When you understand who you are in me, opportunities begin to align naturally. Confidence rooted in truth changes how you walk into rooms, how you speak, how you decide. Do not minimize your calling because it feels intimidating. Intimidation often signals expansion. Expansion stretches you before it strengthens you. There are conversations you have been avoiding. There are decisions you have postponed. This is the time to address them with courage. If you are choosing courage over comfort, declare 555 and let that be your statement of readiness. The fear of failure has whispered loudly in your mind. It told you that trying again would lead to the same pain. But that voice is not mine. I speak growth, not defeat. You have matured through hardship. What once would have broken you now builds you. What once overwhelmed you now instructs you. I am teaching you to respond differently, to respond with patience when frustration rises, to respond with wisdom when emotion pushes you, to respond with faith when doubt appears. You are stepping into a season where clarity will replace confusion, not because life will be perfect, but because your perception will be grounded in truth. Grounded perception changes everything. You will begin to notice patterns breaking. Cycles that ran in your family line will lose power over you. Limiting beliefs you inherited will fade. This is not coincidence. This is intentional transformation. You are not repeating the past. You are rewriting the trajectory. The door before you is not dramatic. It may look ordinary at first glance, but obedience in ordinary moments produces extraordinary results. Do not wait for overwhelming emotion to confirm your step. Sometimes peace is quiet. Sometimes confidence is calm. I am restoring areas of your life that felt permanently damaged. Relationships that seemed distant will experience healing. Opportunities that seemed closed will reappear in new forms. Your responsibility is trust and action. My responsibility is outcome. Release what you cannot control. There is provision attached to obedience that you have not yet witnessed. Not only financial provision, but emotional strength, and relational favor. You have been stronger than you realized. You carried weight that others could not see. That endurance was training. Now I am inviting you into expansion. Expansion of vision, expansion of influence, expansion of peace. You will no longer shrink your dreams to fit your fears. You will allow faith to enlarge them. Do not interpret the intensity of this season as punishment. It is preparation. Preparation always feels stretching before it feels rewarding. I am aligning people who will support your growth instead of resist it. You will begin to recognize connections that feel purposeful. Could the CIA really be hiding a 7-second ritual that turns money, struggles into fortune? A covert CIA finding exposes a strange 7-second ritual that activates money, attracting brainwaves on autopilot, supported by science and 4 elite labs. This home ritual is turning struggling people into dream lifestyle owners, but this page may disappear soon. Click the link in description and comments before it's deleted from the internet forever. Guard your focus. Distraction is subtle. It steals momentum quietly. When doubt tries to return, remember how far you have already come. Remember the growth that once seemed impossible. I am building consistency in you. Consistency is more powerful than bursts of inspiration. Steady faith creates lasting impact. There is a calm confidence forming inside you. That confidence is not arrogance. It is awareness of my presence. You will make decisions with greater clarity. You will speak with greater conviction. You will rest with greater peace. I am not asking you to rush. I am asking you to move deliberately. Deliberate steps create stable foundations. Your obedience today influences your tomorrow. Small, faithful actions accumulate into significant breakthroughs. If you trust that I am guiding your steps, declare 999 and let that affirmation strengthen your resolve. You are not alone in this process. Even when you cannot see me working, I am active. The miracle unfolding is not sudden spectacle. It is steady transformation. It is alignment that changes direction. I am proud of your growth. I am aware of your effort. I am invested in your future. Do not retreat when discomfort appears. Discomfort often signals growth at work. You have asked for change. Change requires courage. Courage requires trust. I am not closing doors to punish you. I close them to protect you. I open others to advance you. The next chapter of your carries greater stability, greater clarity, greater influence. Walk into it with confidence. Walk into it with humility. Walk into it with faith. This is your moment of agreement. Agreement with truth over fear. Agreement with possibility over limitation. You are capable. You are prepared. You are supported. Keep moving forward. Keep trusting my voice. Keep believing that what lies ahead is better than what you leave behind. When I said this was your last chance to open your heart, I was speaking about the end of hesitation that kept you circling the same fears. You cannot build a new life while clinging to an old narrative. You cannot step into expansion while protecting limitations. This is the closing of one internal chapter, so another can fully begin. You have spent years waiting for the perfect moment. You told yourself that when conditions improved, then you would act. When you felt braver, then you would commit. When the risk looked smaller, then you would move. But faith does not wait for ideal conditions. It creates progress in imperfect ones. There are habits that quietly drained your momentum. Not dramatic failures, but subtle compromises. Not loud rebellion, but slow postponement. I am not exposing these to shame you. I am revealing them so you can finally release them. You are stronger now than when you first prayed for change. You have endured uncertainty and remained standing. You have experienced delay and still kept hope alive. That endurance has built capacity within you. Capacity is important because what I am bringing into your life requires it. The blessing is not small. The responsibility is not light. The influence is not temporary. You once feared that if you stepped forward and failed, you would lose everything. But what you did not realize is that standing still was costing you more. Staying in fear drained your peace. Avoiding action weakened your confidence. Now you are stepping differently. Not recklessly, but intentionally. Not out of pressure, but out of clarity. The miracle unfolding in your life is deeply connected to alignment. When your thoughts align with truth, your actions follow. When your actions align with purpose, results begin to shift. There are relationships that will adjust as you grow. Some will deepen because they recognize your change. Others may distance themselves because growth disrupts comfort. Do not resent that shift. I am guiding you into spaces that match your calling. Spaces where your voice matters. Spaces where your integrity is valued. If you believe you are stepping into a higher level of alignment, declare 1212 and let that be your quiet confirmation. You have questioned whether you are ready for what you prayed for. Readiness does not always feel like confidence. Sometimes readiness feels like willingness despite fear. I have been building discipline in you. Discipline protects the blessing once it arrives. Without discipline, breakthrough becomes temporary. The reason this moment feels significant is because it is transitional. You are not the same person you were last year. You are not responding with the same insecurity. The last chance was not about competition. It was about decision. Decision determines direction. You are deciding to trust that I am not withholding good from you. You are deciding to stop expecting disappointment. You are deciding to release the fear that kept whispering that you are not enough. You are enough because I formed you with intention. I did not design you by accident. I did not assign you a purpose casually. The door before you remains open, but you must walk through it. I will not force you. I will empower you. You may not see the full path beyond the doorway. That is intentional. If you saw everything at once, you might feel overwhelmed. I reveal what you need for the next step. Trust grows through movement. Confidence grows through obedience. Peace grows through surrender. There were seasons when you felt overlooked. You watched others progress while you felt delayed. But comparison distorted your perspective. Your timeline was shaped by preparation. Preparation takes time. Foundation building is slower than surface decoration. Now the foundation is strong. Now the structure can rise. I am increasing your resilience so future storms do not destabilize you. I am deepening your roots so growth does not uproot you. The miracle is not only external reward, it is internal strength. It is emotional stability where anxiety once ruled. Why are so many claiming this CIA ritual changed their life in just 7 seconds? This leaked CIA ritual is the real deal, and it's potent. A 7-second brainwave hack, backed by my neuroscience labs, is helping regular people leap from broke to abundant. Dream homes, cars, trips. It's all within reach. But this video could disappear any time from the internet. So click the link in the description and comments now to see it before it's gone forever. You are learning to respond instead of react. You are learning to pause instead of panic. You are learning to speak truth instead of rehearsing fear. This is maturity. This is growth. Do not underestimate the significance of small, obedient choices. Each one shifts your trajectory. When doubt tries to resurface, remember how far you have already come. Remember that hesitation once dominated you, and now it no longer does. You are no longer negotiating with fear. You are no longer shrinking your vision. You are no longer apologizing for your growth. If you trust that I am strengthening you for greater impact, declare 1515 and let that be your declaration of faith. I am refining your focus. Distractions that once captured your attention will lose their appeal. You will value depth over noise. The calling on your life is not random ambition. It is purposeful assignment. It carries responsibility, but it also carries grace. You have been afraid of visibility because visibility brings accountability. But accountability is not threat. It is structure. I am not asking you to be flawless. I am asking you to be faithful. Faithfulness in small things prepares you for larger opportunities. Integrity in quiet moments builds credibility in public ones. The opportunity before you is not temporary excitement. It is sustainable growth. It is steady progress. You will notice that your reactions change. Situations that once triggered insecurity will no longer control you. That is evidence of transformation. I am proud of the discipline forming in you. I am aware of the effort you are making privately. Continue moving forward. Continue choosing alignment over comfort. You are not competing for approval. You already have mine. The blessing I prepared is secure. It is not fragile. It does not depend on someone else failing. Walk confidently. Walk humbly. Walk steadily. The last chance was never about fear of loss. It was about invitation to growth. You accepted that invitation. Now continue walking in it. I am with you in every step. I am strengthening your mind. I am stabilizing your heart. And as you continue forward, you will see that what once felt urgent now feels purposeful, because you understand that this moment was about awakening, not warning. When I called this a last chance, I was marking the end of passive waiting. You were not created to observe your destiny from a distance. You were created to participate in it. Watching others move forward while you remain cautious is no longer your portion. This is the season where participation replaces postponement. There were moments when you convinced yourself that safety meant staying hidden. You thought if you stayed unnoticed, you would avoid disappointment, but hiding also kept you from opportunity. Protection became limitation without you realizing it. I am breaking that pattern gently, but firmly. You are not meant to shrink when growth calls your name. You are not meant to retreat when responsibility appears. You are capable of carrying what you once thought was too heavy. You have grown through challenges you never expected. There were nights of uncertainty when you felt alone in your thoughts. There were mornings when motivation was difficult to find, yet you kept going. That persistence built endurance. Endurance built strength. Strength built confidence. The opportunity in front of you now requires that confidence. It requires the quiet certainty that you are not stepping forward alone. I am not sending you into unfamiliar territory without guidance. I am walking ahead of you and beside you. You will begin to notice changes in how you think. Thoughts that once spiraled into doubt will slow down. You will challenge negative assumptions instead of accepting them automatically. That is growth at work. The miracle unfolding in your life is not sudden spectacle. It is steady expansion. Expansion of vision. Expansion of courage. Expansion of peace. You once believed that if something truly came from me, it would feel effortless. But growth often feels like stretching before it feels comfortable. Courage expands when you are willing to move forward beyond what feels familiar. Expansion of courage is not always loud. Sometimes it is quiet, obedience. Sometimes it is one faithful step after another. Stretching does not mean something is wrong. It means progress is taking place. You are not disqualified because of past mistakes. Those mistakes taught you discernment. They refined the way you make decisions. I am teaching you to value consistency more than intensity. Intense moments can fade quickly. Consistent faith builds lasting change. You are becoming more stable emotionally. Situations that once unsettled you now receive calmer responses. That stability is part of the blessing. If you believe you are stepping into greater stability and purpose, declare 1,717 and let that become your affirmation of trust. There are doors that will open quietly in the coming days. Conversations will align unexpectedly. Opportunities will feel natural instead of forced. Do not overlook them because they do not arrive with drama. My work is often subtle at first. What begins quietly can grow powerfully. You are learning to trust your discernment. You are learning to sense when something aligns with your calling. That sensitivity is a gift. There were seasons when you ignored your inner conviction. You overrode it with fear or outside opinions. But now you are listening more closely. That listening will protect you. It will guide you away from distractions that appear attractive but lack depth. It will guide you toward commitments that build your future. The last chance was not about threat. It was about awakening you to your own readiness. You have more capacity than you realized. You will begin to feel a renewed sense of direction. Decisions will not feel as overwhelming. Clarity will increase gradually. Trust that clarity grows with movement. The more you step forward, the clearer the path becomes. You are not meant to carry everyone with you. Some people will choose not to understand your growth. That is not your responsibility. Your responsibility is obedience. Your responsibility is integrity. Your responsibility is faithfulness. I am aligning your environment with your calling. Spaces that once felt restrictive will begin losing their hold. You will sense when it is time to shift. This shift will not be chaotic. It will be deliberate. You will feel peace even in the middle of change. The miracle is not simply what you receive. It is who you are becoming in the process of receiving it. You are becoming more disciplined. You are becoming more focused. You are becoming more aware of your value. What is really behind the 7-second brain technique that is making headlines and creating new millionaires? A shocking CIA leak has revealed a 7-second brain ritual that is helping ordinary people wipe out debt and attract serious wealth. With proof from 4 neuroscience labs, this at-home method is turning financial stress into dream living. Homes, cars, vacations. It is all happening. But the government could remove this at any time. Click the link in the description and comments before it is deleted forever. There is no competition in my design for you. What is meant for you cannot be taken by someone else. Your growth does not depend on another person's failure. You are learning to celebrate others without feeling diminished. That freedom is powerful. If you trust that what is prepared for you is secure, declare 1,919 and let that strengthen your confidence. I am not rushing you. I am guiding you steadily. The urgency was about attention, not panic. You are attentive now. You are aware. You are engaged. The breakthrough you expected may not look exactly the way you imagined. Sometimes I answer prayers in forms that require a new perspective. Stay open to that perspective. Do not limit me to your previous expectations. You are entering a season of refinement. Not because you are lacking, but because you are advancing. Advancement requires clarity. It requires courage to release what no longer aligns. You will notice that certain habits feel uncomfortable now. That discomfort is growth showing you that you are outgrowing old patterns. Embrace that feeling. It means you are moving beyond what once held you back. I am building endurance for the long journey ahead. Quick success without depth fades quickly. Sustained growth creates impact. You are not meant for temporary excitement. You are meant for lasting influence. The next chapter of your life will require responsibility, but it will also bring fulfillment. Responsibility and fulfillment are not enemies. You will discover joy in discipline. You will discover peace in structure. Your confidence will no longer depend on outside validation. It will rest in your awareness of my presence. You are not alone in your efforts. Every step you take in faith is supported. Continue walking. Continue trusting. Continue believing. The last chance has become a living decision within you. You chose growth over fear. You chose movement over delay. Now remain steady. Remain focused. Remain aligned. The miracle is unfolding as transformation, and transformation, once begun, cannot be easily reversed. You are stronger than you were. You are clearer than you were. You are braver than you were. When I first spoke about a last chance, it awakened something inside you. It interrupted complacency. It confronted delay. Now that interruption has turned into direction. Direction gives you confidence. It removes the constant question of whether you are doing enough. It replaces scattered effort with deliberate action. You are learning to move with intention instead of impulse. There was a time when you doubted your ability to sustain growth. You would start strong and then retreat. You would feel inspired and then hesitate. But something is different now. You are building endurance. You are choosing consistency. You are honoring discipline even when no one sees it. The miracle unfolding is not loud, but it is powerful. It is reshaping your character. It is strengthening your resolve. You once believed that blessings would arrive suddenly and solve everything. Now you understand that transformation prepares you to handle them wisely. Preparation is protection. I am strengthening your emotional foundation. You are less shaken by opinions. You are less dependent on external approval. This is freedom. Freedom from comparison. Freedom from insecurity. The more secure you become internally, the more effective you become externally. Stability within creates impact outside. You are learning to guard your focus. Not every opportunity deserves your energy. Not every invitation aligns with your calling. Discernment is growing in you. You are recognizing what builds you and what drains you. The last chance was the closing of indecision. You have chosen alignment. Now, maintain it. There will still be moments of doubt, but they will not dominate you. You will acknowledge them without surrendering to them. You are no longer negotiating with fear. You are negotiating with growth. Growth requires sacrifice. Sometimes it requires letting go of comfort. Sometimes it requires disappointing others who preferred the smaller version of you. Do not feel guilty for evolving. Growth is not betrayal. You were never meant to stay the same. I created you with potential that unfolds over time. If you believe you are stepping into greater maturity and strength, declare 222 and let that be your quiet agreement. You are beginning to notice how differently you respond to challenges. Situations that once overwhelmed you now feel manageable. That change did not happen overnight. It happened through repeated decisions to trust. It happened through small acts of obedience. You are building a life that reflects stability instead of chaos. Stability is not boring. Stability is strength. I am aligning your internal world with your external assignments. You cannot carry new responsibility with an unstable foundation. You have asked for greater influence. Influence requires integrity. Integrity requires consistency. You are becoming more dependable, more focused, more disciplined. This is not accidental growth. It is intentional refinement. The miracle is unfolding in layers. Each layer strengthens you for the next fray. Do not rush the process. Do not demand immediate results. Results will come, but depth matters more than speed. You are learning patience without losing momentum. That balance is powerful. I am increasing your resilience so that setbacks no longer discourage you easily. You will recover faster. You will adjust quicker. Resilience is part of your inheritance. It was formed through experiences you once wished away. Now you see their value. Now you see how they shaped you. The door remains open not because of urgency, but because of readiness. You are ready. Ready does not mean perfect. Ready means willing. You are willing to learn, willing to adjust, willing to grow. That willingness attracts opportunity. It attracts alignment. There are connections forming that will support your next level. Pay attention to conversations that feel purposeful. Not every relationship is permanent, but every season has people assigned to it. I am guiding you toward collaborations that strengthen your vision. You will recognize mutual respect and shared values. Trust that I am filtering what is not aligned. You do not need to force separation. Your focus now must remain steady. Avoid distractions disguised as shortcuts. Is it finally time to try the same CIA secret ritual that's changing lives in seconds? This newly leaked CIA-backed study reveals a 7-second money ritual transforming lives overnight. Scientifically validated by 4 neuroscience labs, it rewires your mind to attract money like a magnet. People once broke are now enjoying luxury homes, new cars, and exotic travel. But this secret won't be online much longer. Click the description and comments now to access it before it's permanently removed. Shortcuts promise speed, but sacrifice depth. Depth sustains success. You are not meant for shallow victories. You were meant for lasting impact. If you trust that I am shaping your path with intention, declare 1010 and let that strengthen your confidence. There will be moments when progress feels slow. In those moments, remember that roots grow underground before branches appear. Invisible growth is still growth. You are building habits that will support your future. Daily discipline creates extraordinary outcomes over time. The fear that once controlled your decisions has lost its authority. You now consult wisdom instead of anxiety. That shift alone changes everything. You are becoming more comfortable with responsibility. Responsibility no longer feels threatening. It feels purposeful. It feels aligned. The last chance was not about scarcity. It was about awareness. You are aware now. Aware of your potential. Aware of your calling. Awareness demands response. And you have responded. Continue moving forward. Continue refining your focus. Do not allow small setbacks to redefine your direction. They are adjustments, not conclusion. You are learning to separate emotion from identity. Feeling uncertain does not mean you are incapable. You are capable. You are supported. I am strengthening your leadership. Leadership begins with self-mastery. You are mastering your reactions. You are mastering your focus. This is transformation at work. The miracle is not just ahead of you, it is within you. You are becoming the kind of person who can sustain what you prayed for. Stay steady. Stay disciplined. The urgency has matured into commitment. You are no longer standing at the door wondering if you should enter. When I said this was your last chance, it was the final invitation to stop delaying your own growth. It was not about losing a blessing. It was about losing the habit of postponing obedience. You have broken that habit. And that is why you feel the shift. You are no longer waiting for perfect confidence. You are acting with developing confidence. That difference is powerful. There were years when you told yourself that you would begin after one more sign. one more confirmation, one more assurance that everything would work out smoothly. But growth does not wait for guarantees. It begins with trust. It advances with discipline. It is sustained by consistency. You are learning to rely less on emotion and more on conviction. Emotion rises and falls. Conviction remains steady. The miracle that is unfolding is not about sudden applause or instant recognition. It is about depth forming within you. It is about strength replacing insecurity. You have noticed that situations that once intimidated you now feel manageable. Conversations that once made you anxious now feel purposeful. That is evidence of transformation. You are no longer shrinking your voice to avoid attention. You are speaking with clarity. You are acting with intention. The last chance was a turning point. It marked the end of internal negotiation. You decided to trust. That decision is still active. Each day you reinforce it with action. There will be moments when old fears attempt to resurface. They may whisper that you are moving too quickly. They may question whether you deserve the progress you are making. Do not give those whispers authority. They are echoes of past insecurity, not present truth. You are building something stable. Stability requires repetition of wise choices. You are practicing that repetition. I am increasing your capacity to carry responsibility without losing peace. Responsibility and peace can coexist. You once believed that greater influence would automatically bring stress, but influence anchored in purpose brings fulfillment. You are discovering that growth is not chaotic when it is guided. It is structured. It is deliberate. If you believe you are walking into structured and purposeful growth, declare 777 and let that be your affirmation of trust. There are opportunities forming that will require courage to accept. They may stretch you beyond familiar territory. That stretching is not punishment. It is preparation. It is expansion. You are no longer afraid of expansion. You are learning to embrace it. The miracle connected to your life is tied to maturity. It is not about sudden gain without readiness. It is about steady increase with integrity. You are developing integrity in private decisions. That integrity strengthens your public impact. I am refining your priorities. You are becoming more selective with your time, more intentional with your energy. Discipline is becoming natural instead of forced. That is growth taking root. The door that opened before you is still open because you stepped toward it. Action sustains opportunity. You are not competing for what is yours. What is aligned with your calling will not bypass you. Your focus now must remain steady. Avoid revisiting past doubts as if they still hold power. They do not. You have outgrown them. You are learning to measure progress by faithfulness, not by comparison. Comparison once distracted you. Now you are centered. Centered in identity. Centered in purpose. The last chance has become a daily choice. Each morning you choose alignment. Each evening you reflect on growth. This rhythm is building strength. Strength that will carry you through future challenges. You will face obstacles, but they will not destabilize you like before. You will approach them with strategy instead of panic. Strategy grows from wisdom. Wisdom grows from experience. Your experiences were not wasted. Every setback taught you something valuable. Every delay strengthened patience. You are not the same person who once hesitated endlessly. You are decisive now. Decisiveness does not mean arrogance. It means clarity. You are clear about what aligns with your values. Clear about what drains your energy. I am increasing your discernment in relationships. You will sense who supports your growth and who resists it. Release resentment toward those who misunderstood you. Their perspective does not define your path. Why is the government working so hard to bury this 7-second brain ritual? A stunning CIA leak has just exposed a 7-second brain ritual, now allowing regular people to clear debt and invite unstoppable wealth, supported by 4 neuroscience labs. This easy at-home method is transforming financial struggles into dream lifestyles, new homes, vehicles, vacations. It's all becoming possible. But the government might pull this secret any minute. Click the link in the description and comments before it's deleted forever. The miracle ahead is not only about achievement, it is about peace. Peace that remains, even when responsibilities increase. You are capable of handling more than you once believed. That capability was formed through persistence. If you trust that you are equipped for the next level, declare 1212 and let that strengthen your resolve. There is confidence building in you that does not depend on applause. It depends on awareness of my presence. You are learning that my guidance is steady, not frantic. Purpose is not rushed. You will notice that your reactions continue to mature. Where you once reacted defensively, you now respond thoughtfully. That shift will protect you from unnecessary conflict. It will position you for lasting respect. I am not asking you to strive endlessly. I am asking you to remain faithful consistently. Faithfulness produces fruit over time. Quick bursts of effort cannot replace steady commitment. The miracle unfolding is layered. First, identity. Then, discipline. Then, opportunity. You are walking through those layers patiently. Do not rush ahead of the process. The door you step through leads to responsibility and reward. Accept both. You are no longer intimidated by growth. You are welcoming it. The last chance was the beginning of awakening. Awakening has now turned into action. Continue walking. Continue refining. Continue trusting. You are supported in every step. You are strengthened in every challenge. What once felt urgent now feels intentional. What once felt intimidating now feels possible. You have crossed the line from hesitation to commitment. When I first spoke about a final chance to open your heart, it stirred something awake inside you. That awakening was necessary. You had grown comfortable with postponing growth, comfortable with waiting for perfect certainty. Now you understand that certainty often follows obedience, not the other way around. You are no longer asking whether you are capable. You are asking how to steward what you have been given. That shift reveals maturity. It shows that you are thinking beyond fear and into responsibility. Responsibility is not a burden when it is aligned with purpose. It becomes meaningful. It becomes energizing. You can already feel that change beginning. There were seasons when you tried to prove yourself to others. You wanted validation. You wanted reassurance that you were enough. Now you are learning that your value is not established by applause. It is established by identity. Identity, rooted in me, cannot be shaken. The miracle unfolding in your life is connected to that identity. When you know who you are, you stop chasing what weakens you. You begin choosing what strengthens you. You are becoming more selective now, more thoughtful, more disciplined. Discipline once felt limiting to you. Now it feels like freedom. It creates structure. Where chaos once ruled, the last chance was not a threat of loss. It was a call to ownership. Ownership of your growth. Ownership of your choices. You are owning them now. You are no longer blaming circumstances for stagnation. You are no longer waiting for someone else to change first. That ownership gives you strength. It gives you authority over your direction. You have also learned to release what is beyond your control. Not everything requires your involvement. Not every situation deserves your energy. This wisdom is protecting your peace. peace is becoming one of your greatest strengths. If you believe peace is becoming your foundation, declare 999 and let that affirmation anchor your confidence. You are beginning to understand that steady growth creates lasting impact. Quick success without depth would have overwhelmed you before. Now depth is forming. You are building habits that support endurance. You are choosing consistency over intensity. Intensity fades quickly. Consistency sustains momentum. There were times when you felt invisible, times when you wondered whether your efforts mattered. But unseen growth is often the most important growth. Roots develop beneath the ground before branches stretch upward. You are strengthening your roots. I am aligning your environment with your maturity. As you grow, your surroundings will begin reflecting that growth. Opportunities that once felt distant will appear within reach. Not because luck changed, but because you changed. You are stepping into rooms with greater confidence. You are speaking with clearer conviction. That confidence is not pride. It is awareness of preparation. Preparation has been happening quietly for years. Every lesson, every setback, every delay. Nothing was wasted. Nothing was random. The miracle is unfolding as alignment between preparation and opportunity. Alignment removes strain. You no longer need to force doors open. The right ones will respond naturally to your growth. Continue refining your focus. Avoid distractions that flatter your ego but drain your purpose. You are not called to everything. You are called to specific assignments. Discernment will help you recognize them. You are growing in that discernment every day. If you trust that your path is becoming clearer, declare 14